Alright, hey guys, so I haven't really planned out this video as you can probably tell, but I thought it would be an interesting topic just to share my thoughts over, and it's sort of just the future of gaming or where it's heading. Last week, Google had this big presentation about their new game streaming service called Stadia, and they're basically claiming that they're going to be streaming like big popular AAA games like Assassin's Creed Odyssey to various devices like your phone, your tablet, or a computer, or even like a Chromebook at 60 FPS 1080p, and you can use any type of controller to play. And basically it's a subscription type service very similar to PlayStation Now, where you have to subscribe, pay a monthly fee I believe, and then you can play games anytime through any device basically. I should also mention that Microsoft is doing the exact same thing. They have something in the works called Project xCloud, which is a streaming service as well for video games. So I think it's very interesting that these big companies are heading in this direction, and I feel like it's going to change up the game industry quite a bit in the future. And one of the reasons I say that is because a lot of people aren't able to afford a $1,000 or $2,000 gaming computer. So they would much rather be able to just play on, say, a smart TV or a tablet or a phone, things that they already have available, and then just pay a monthly fee. Maybe, I don't know, $15, $30 a month seems a lot more reasonable than having to pay $1,000 up front. So throughout the event, they're basically just going through and claiming that streaming at 1080p at 60 FPS worked fine, very low latency. As you can see, this guy is playing with a mouse and keyboard with a Chromebook, and these are very cheap laptops that shouldn't be able to play games like this, or on a phone or on a tablet. They also claim in the future they're planning on being able to stream at 4K at 120 FPS, which is pretty exciting as well. It really depends. The service isn't out yet, so I'm not really sure how the latency comes into play. If the service has poor latency, especially during fast-paced or first-person type games, you'll be able to notice it, especially as a PC gamer. I think console players will be a little bit more forgiving on latency, but if you're in a bad neighborhood or if you have a poor connection, this definitely won't work for you. I think they said that you need a 30 megabyte down connection in order to use it properly. You probably need much higher than that to keep a stable connection to the game. So obviously this service won't be for everyone. If you have a decent internet connection, I think the average in the US is starting to go up. I know my internet provider provides at least 200 down, so I would have no problem using a service like this. But it's quite interesting that that we're sort of just heading in this direction where it's going to be less about having the hardware, and it's just going to be you can have any sort of display you want. You can use your phone, your tablet, or have a monitor hooked up and just be able to stream whatever you like at like max settings basically through their cloud servers. You can see they claim to release this service in 2019, and they're using their own network to try to keep latency as low as possible and keep the speed very high. It's quite interesting to see how it'll play out. They had a closed, I guess, beta test phase with Assassin's Creed Odyssey with people around the world, and they claim that it worked pretty well. Microsoft is also doing their thing. I'm not sure when that's going to be released. So yeah, just very interesting to me how it'll play out. I'm kind of curious as to your thoughts about it as well. If a streaming service did come out and you were able to play a bunch of AAA games, would you subscribe to it? Is it something that that you would want? I know most people out there don't have like super high-end gaming rigs to play the latest games on PC at max settings, so perhaps this will be an alternative for them. You can pay like a low monthly subscription to play games just through Google Chrome, just through your web browser, which they showed. And they also showed a neat little feature where like you could be watching a game or an advertisement on YouTube, and you can just click play, and then it'll launch in the window. So even though I already have a good gaming computer and I enjoy collecting PC games, there's a couple reasons why I would want to have a streaming service like this. One of the reasons is you would never have to download a game. They would automatically be downloaded on their servers, and you can literally just click play and the game should pop up and start running automatically. that would save a lot of time, especially for these huge games that are coming out more recently. A lot of AAA games are upwards of like 50 gigabytes. Sometimes they're even higher than that, which can be very time consuming to download, especially if you don't have the greatest internet connection. Even if you do have a good internet connection, downloading like 100 gigabytes does take a couple hours. The second reason, and I think this is a big one that a lot of people aren't really realizing as of yet, is if this is a closed system, there won't be any hackers and there won't be any cheaters, because if a person isn't able to access the hardware or the software on their own computers, and it's all being streamed like through the cloud or whatever to your computer, you won't have any access to cheats or anything that could help you in a game. So for multiplayer games, think Counter-Strike for example, you would never have to worry about if the other player is cheating, and I think that is fantastic, because I still remember back in the day playing on Xbox 360, etc., playing like Halo. You would rarely ever come across cheaters. Of course, there was cheaters that would mod their Xbox, but it was very rare compared to on PC, where there is millions of hackers and people are getting banned every single day. It's kind of ridiculous how many people actually hack on PC, and there's really not a whole lot you can do about it. They do have anti-cheating systems in place that will ban them, but usually they don't catch them for a couple weeks or so. So yeah, having a streaming service would completely eliminate hacking. And the third reason why I think a streaming service could be big on PC is that it would allow for server-side achievements. So if you guys are familiar with Xbox's achievement system or PlayStation's achievement system, basically they're very hard to cheat or unlock without being actively connected to the internet and actually playing the game yourself. On Steam, it's not really like that. There's a lot of programs where you can easily unlock all the achievements for all of your games instantly, and Steam doesn't even care. They will not ban you for this. They basically say it's acceptable because anyone can do it even without these programs. You can just go into the server files and change some settings, or use something like Cheat Engine to make the game easier. So with a streaming service, they could actually implement server-side achievements to make it a little bit more legitimate, and I think that would be pretty cool, because I used to love going for achievements back when I used to be a console gamer, and going to Steam, it was a little bit disappointing that the achievement scene just wasn't there. There is an achievement community, but it's just not as good as it could be, especially considering how easy it is just to unlock the achievements manually. But yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on Google's new streaming service. I am interested to know how they're going to price the system as well. Is it going to be a cheap monthly service? Is it going to be expensive? Is there going to be different tiers? I know a lot of people are subscribed to EA's Origin Access. I've never done it before. I would prefer just to purchase the games, but there's different tiers. There's a basic tier and then the premier tier that has the newer games. So I wonder if Google's going to go that approach, or if you're just going to be able to purchase games individually and then have access to play them through your specific account. That would be interesting as well. So we'll see how this plays out. I think it'll be cool that more people will have access to play higher end games. Even if you don't have a high-end PC, you can just stream it, which is quite interesting. I do think they said it's 1080p 60 FPS. Personally, I think that's a little bit low. I'm used to playing at 1440p at 144 hertz or 144 FPS. So certain games are going to feel a little bit lackluster to me, but it really depends on the game and how well the latency works in the streaming service. So I'm interested to know your opinions. Let me know in the comments below, and I'll look through them and reply to you guys as well. So thanks for watching, and have a nice day.